Oakland, California, September 23, 1964. An ordinary Tuesday that would become legendary because of 8 impossible seconds. Bruce Lee's martial arts gym on Telegraph Avenue had been open for just 6 months. It was a modest space, bare walls, stained mirrors, a punching bag hanging in the corner. Nothing glamorous, just functional. Bruce was 23 years old. He wasn't a movie star yet. He wasn't famous. He was just a Chinese instructor trying to survive in a city that didn't understand what he taught. But rumors were already spreading. Stories about his speed, about strikes you don't see coming, about demonstrations where he extinguishes candles with punches inches away. The martial arts world in San Francisco was starting to talk about Bruce Lee, and not everyone was impressed. Jack Williams was 28 years old, 6'2" tall, 210 pounds of solid muscle. He was a professional boxer, not a world champion, but respected. 17 wins, 4 losses, 13 knockouts. He trained in a boxing gym 3 blocks from Bruce's studio. For months, he'd been hearing about this little Chinese guy who supposedly revolutionized martial arts. About this thing called Jeet Kune Do, this fighting philosophy that allegedly surpasses traditional boxing. Jack didn't believe any of it. To him, martial arts were choreography, dance, pretty movements that don't work in a real fight. He'd seen demonstrations, seen masters breaking boards, doing katas, executing impressive spinning kicks, but he'd never seen any of them survive 3 rounds against a real boxer. Today, Jack decided to prove his point. He enters Bruce's studio at 2:30 p.m., a time when he knows Bruce is teaching class. The door creaks as he opens it. 8 students are on the mat, practicing basic movements. Bruce is in the center, demonstrating an evasion technique. He's wearing loose black pants and is barefoot. When Jack enters, the class stops. Jack walks straight to the center of the mat. He's almost 8 inches taller than Bruce. The physical difference is absurd. "You Bruce Lee?" Jack's voice echoes in the small space. Bruce turns slowly. "That's me. Can I help you?" Bruce's voice is calm, without hostility. Jack smiles, but it's not a friendly smile. "I've heard a lot about you, about your magical kung fu, about how you're too fast to be seen, about how your style beats anything." Bruce doesn't respond. He just observes. His eyes narrow slightly, reading Jack's body language, calculating intentions. The students instinctively step back, sensing the tension. Jack continues. "I'm a boxer. I fight for real. I don't break boards. I don't do choreography. I step into a ring and hit people who are trying to knock me out. And let me tell you something. Your style? It's weak. It's pretty, but it's weak. It's useless in a real fight." The silence that follows is thick. Bruce's students tense up. One of them steps forward, but Bruce gently raises his hand, stopping him. Bruce stares at Jack for 3 long seconds. When he speaks, his voice remains completely calm. "You came all this way to tell me that?" Jack crosses his arms over his chest. "I came here to prove it. Put on your gloves. Let's see if your weak kung fu works against a real punch." Bruce could refuse. He could ask Jack to leave. That would be reasonable, safe. But Bruce Lee never chose safe. He built his entire life challenging what was considered impossible. He takes a deep breath. "All right. A demonstration, but no gloves, no rules, no rounds, just one moment. You attack," I respond. 8 seconds. That's all I need." Jack laughs loudly. 8 seconds? Buddy, I'll knock you out in 3. Bruce doesn't respond. He simply walks to the center of the mat and gestures for Jack to position himself. The students move back, forming a circle around the 2 men. The ordinary Tuesday afternoon has just turned into something they'll tell about for the rest of their lives. Jack assumes a boxing stance. Guard high, feet solid, weight distributed. It's the posture of a man who's fought dozens of times, who knows how to protect his chin, who knows how to gauge distance. He's confident. He has an 8-inch height and 65-pound weight advantage. He's a professional. Bruce stands relaxed. His hands aren't raised in a traditional guard. They're loose at his sides. There's no visible tension in his shoulders, no obvious preparation. He looks vulnerable. He looks wrong. Jack thinks this will be even easier than he imagined. One of Bruce's students murmurs, "Shall we begin?" Bruce nods slightly. Jack doesn't wait any longer. He advances, closing the distance in 2 quick steps. He throws a straight jab, fast and precise, the kind of punch he's thrown 1,000 times, the kind that opens an opponent's guard. It's a good punch, a professional punch. Bruce is no longer there. He slid to the side, a movement so small, so economical that it seems he simply materialized 8 inches to the left. Jack's jab cuts through empty air. Before Jack can recalibrate, before his brain can process that he missed, Bruce moves. It's not a punch, it's an explosion. Bruce's right hand shoots straight out, covering the distance from his hip to Jack's face in a fraction of a second. The sound is a dry snap. Bruce's fingers, extended like a spear, hit Jack's neck just below the jaw, pressing the vagus nerve, the bundle of nerves that controls blood pressure, heart rate, breathing. Jack's body locks up. His legs lose strength. He collapses to the side like a felled tree, hitting the mat with a dull thud. He's conscious. His eyes are open, but his body doesn't respond. He's lying on the floor, unable to move, unable to speak. His brain screaming commands that his muscles completely ignore. Bruce doesn't follow him to the ground. No finishing blow, no additional attack. Bruce simply steps back and crosses his arms, watching. 2 seconds pass. 3. 4. Jack is trying to get up, but his legs don't obey. He manages to turn his head slightly. His eyes meet Bruce's. There's panic in them now. Total confusion. 5 seconds. 6. Jack manages to move his fingers. The sensation is returning. Slowly. As if his body is rebooting, system by system. He bends one knee. 7 seconds. He rolls to the side, propping himself on an elbow. 8 seconds. He's on his knees, breathing heavily, sweat running down his face even though he barely moved. Bruce crouches beside him, speaking softly, his voice without a trace of arrogance. You said my style is weak because it's not boxing, but I don't need to be a boxer. I don't attack where you're strong. I attack where you're vulnerable. You have muscles, strength, perfect boxing technique. But everyone has pressure points. Everyone has nerves. Everyone has areas that, if struck with precision, shut down the entire body. Strength doesn't matter if I don't fight against your strength. Jack is on his feet now, unsteady. He holds his neck where Bruce hit him. There's no visible mark, no bruise forming, but he feels like he was electrocuted. He looks at Bruce, then at the silent students, then back at Bruce. What the hell did you do to me? Bruce stands up. I activated a nerve. Temporarily interrupted the signals from your brain to your muscles. You were conscious, but your body stopped obeying. That's what real martial arts are. Not brute force. It's knowledge, anatomy, precision. Finding the exact point where 100 pounds of force has more impact than 1,000 pounds poorly applied. Jack takes a deep breath. His pride is shattered. He came here to humiliate this unknown Chinese instructor. Came to prove boxing is superior. And in 8 seconds, he was incapacitated by a strike he didn't even see coming. He rubs his face with his hands. This shouldn't be possible. Bruce shrugs. Most things I do shouldn't be possible, until they are. Jack looks around the gym. Bruce's students are in absolute silence. They've just witnessed something that seems like fiction. A professional boxer, bigger, heavier, stronger, taken down in seconds by a strike that looked almost casual. Jack takes another deep breath. He could leave furious. He could swear revenge, but he's not stupid. He knows what just happened. He encountered something beyond his understanding. Can you teach me that? The question comes out low, almost embarrassed. Bruce studies him for a long moment. I can. But first you need to unlearn the idea that there's only one right way to fight. You need to open your mind. Boxing is powerful, but it's limited. Jeet Kune Do is about having no limitations. It's about using what works and discarding what doesn't. It's about adaptation. Jack nods slowly. He extends his hand. Bruce shakes it. Jack's hand engulfs Bruce's, but it doesn't matter anymore. Size didn't matter. Strength didn't matter. What mattered was knowledge, precision, speed, and the ability to see beyond the obvious. Jack turns to leave, still a bit unsteady. When he reaches the door, he stops and looks back. Hey, Bruce. Bruce looks up. Sorry for calling your style weak. Bruce smiles slightly, the first smile since Jack entered. Apology accepted, but you did me a favor. You gave me the chance to prove something, not to you, to my students, to myself. There's always someone who doubts. There's always someone who needs to see to believe. Jack leaves. The door closes behind him. The gym remains silent for another 5 seconds. Then the students erupt into excited conversations, replaying every second of what they just saw. Bruce raises his hand, asking for silence. He takes a deep breath. What you saw today wasn't about humiliating someone. It was about demonstrating a principle, efficiency, precision, knowledge. You can have all the strength in the world, but if you don't know where to apply it, it's useless. Martial arts aren't about being the strongest. They're about being the smartest, the most prepared, the most adaptable. He pauses, letting the words sink in. Now let's get back to training. We have a lot of work to do. The students return to their positions. The class continues, but something has changed. They saw the impossible become real, saw theory turn into devastating practice, saw 8 seconds that proved everything. 3 days later, Jack Williams returns to the gym. This time, he doesn't come to challenge. He comes to learn. He becomes a student of Bruce Lee. In the following years, he integrates Jeet Kune Do techniques into his boxing, becoming a more complete, more unpredictable fighter. He never becomes a world champion, but he becomes known in boxing circles as the guy who fights differently, the guy who attacks strange angles, the guy who learned something beyond traditional boxing. And whenever someone asks where that unique style came from, Jack tells the same story. About a Tuesday in Oakland, about a 130-pound Chinese instructor, about 8 seconds that changed everything he thought he knew about combat, about the day he discovered that strength without wisdom is just wasted energy,